Okay, so here's my comparison video of the Apple iPad 8 versus the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk price first. The iPad 8 is the latest budget tablet offering by Apple, released September 2020. And this baby right here will run you about $330 for one unit. Now, the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite, on the other hand, is supposed to be kind of a mid-range slash budget tablet from Samsung, released May 2020, and this will run you about $280 at regular price. Okay, now we're just gonna go ahead and fly over some high-level stuff about these two tablets. So if you're looking for something a little bit more comprehensive with a lot more details, make sure to check out the videos that I've already made about these two tablets. You know, those videos are a lot more detailed, you know, like the full review video and all that good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and talk design first, right? Now, if you have not seen the iPad 8 in real life yet, but you have seen the iPad 7, then you pretty much know what it looks like. It's that same large 10.2-inch display, so pretty much the same size and looks of the one from last year. And it does have, as a matter of fact, the same finishes in space gray, which is the one that I have here, in silver, and also in gold. You have a headphone jack, so which is always nice to have. You have the pins there to connect to the keyboard. You have Touch ID, which is really, really secure and super fast. That's one of my favorite things. I know I always say that. Then you have the stereo speakers at the bottom there. Not really great placement for speakers, especially during entertainment, right? You also have these fairly thick bezels at the top and at the bottom of the tablet here, and on the sides here we have thinner bezels. Now, it doesn't feel particularly cheap at all, especially in this metallic unibody build here. The Galaxy Tab S6 Lite, on the other hand, is not as wide as the iPad 8. It does have a 10.4-inch display with a uniform bezel style around the face of the tablet, and it also does come in different finishes. So you would get the Oxford gray, the Angora blue, which is what I have here, and the chiffon rose. You also do get a headphone jack here. You have a micro SD card slot, which is always a nice addition in order for you to expand that storage. You have a USB Type-C port at the bottom here, and then of course you have the dual speaker setup, which is the best way to actually set up speakers, and these are tuned by AKG and they sound very, very good. This tablet also does not particularly feel cheap. In fact, this one has more of a nice blend of premium build to it, especially in that metallic unibody build, which is giving off more of a modern look. So as far as design goes, I'm not gonna give you my personal take because it's kind of subjective, right? So you're gonna like what you're gonna like, and I'm gonna like what I wanna like. But the bottom line is just that they are very well built, you know, very dense, you know, they give off that modern look. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about specs and performance here. And before we do so, if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. Of course, if you do like the content so far, please do me a favor and hit both the like and the subscribe button there. I truly appreciate that. It's a huge boost to the channel and it really helps me push out more content like this one. All right, so specs and performance. Now, I want to start off with the displays. The iPad has a 10.2-inch Retina IPS LCD with a resolution of 1620 by 2160, and it also has 500 nits. So you're looking at a very bright tablet here. Now, the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite has a TFT display. This is a 10.4 TFT display with a resolution of 1200 by 2435 nits. So there is a difference in terms of brightness between both screens, at least on paper. Now, to the naked eye, it's noticeable, but not that much, especially when you put them side by side. Again, the iPad is going to be slightly brighter, but it's not that huge of a difference. The iPad, of course, is a wider tablet, and in appearance, it just seems to be much larger than the Tab S6 Lite here. But when you do consider the aspect ratio of both displays, that's where you realize that the Tab S6 Lite has a wider display at 5:3 versus the iPad at 4:3. Now, they're both good screens, but the Tab S6 Lite definitely offers a better experience for entertainment. And that is, of course, because not only does it have that very thin bezel around that front display that gives it kind of a cinematic look, you know, with this wide screen, but also because the screen is laminated, which is not the case on the iPad 8. Additionally, the Tab S6 Lite also offers a better sound experience because, as I mentioned earlier, it has better speakers, and the placement of those speakers makes it so that you can enjoy the sound of the movie or videos or whatever you're watching. The iPad is loaded with 3 gigs of RAM and the A12 Bionic chip with neural engine, which, depending on the type of work that you're doing on your iPad, it can actually afford you some very, very good level of, how would I call it? Like the flexibility to do some proper video editing on this machine. It has a very impressive GPU performance, and I've been actually able to edit and render a couple of short 4K videos with zero issues. The Tab S6 Lite, on the other hand, is loaded with 4 gigs of RAM and a Samsung Exynos 9611. And performance is subpar to what you would get from the iPad 8 there, because the A12 Bionic chip from the iPad does offer some really high level of computational value compared to what you would get out of the Exynos found in this one. Either one of the two will be able to handle day-to-day tasks with no issues, navigating the internet, checking emails, light to moderate multitasking, and so forth. And with that being said, the iPad 8 actually handles a lot more than what the Tab S6 Lite here can handle. So it's, in terms of performance, it's definitely better than this one here. Most apps do seem to open kind of at the same speed, but there's sometimes a noticeable speed advantage to the iPad when opening certain heavy apps. And that also goes for high graphic and demanding games, right? So both tablets will handle light to medium games about the same way, but when it comes to those heavy ones with high graphics, the iPad just takes it. Its GPU is simply outstanding and performs very well at anything that needs GPU related performance, better than the Tab S6 Lite. Now let's talk battery. It does seem to be slightly better on the Tab S6 Lite. You know, it's going to depend on your usage. I know I keep saying that, but it's just the truth, right? Depending on what you use it for. I think it's slightly better on here simply because I've had this tablet for quite a few months now, and I just bought this one, and for some reason, as of now, the battery life is just about the same way. I personally think this should be lasting a lot longer than this one, but for some reason, they're about the same. Each one of these tablets has an 8 megapixel main camera on the back. The Tab S6 Lite camera does seem to show a little bit more saturation when compared to the camera found on the iPad 8. In my testing, I found that the photos and videos taken by the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite have a little bit more color to them compared to those taken by the iPad 8. Images just seem to be sharper on the Tab S6 Lite. Now the iPad has a 1.2 megapixel selfie camera on the front versus the Tab S6 Lite, which has a 5 megapixel camera on the front. And again, the front camera here is also better on the Tab S6 Lite. As far as additional features go, the Tab S6 Lite definitely seems to offer a lot more features, a lot more additional features or bonus features compared to what you would get from the iPad 8. But of course, they do share some common features. They both support a stylus. The iPad 8 supports the Apple Pencil first generation, and besides just that ridiculous way of charging it, it actually works pretty well on the iPad. It does offer a good user experience when, drawing or even taking notes. However, the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite has the Samsung S Pen, which offers an even better experience, especially when writing and even drawing. So as far as the user experience goes for the S Pen or for the stylus rather, the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite has, it offers a much better overall experience, especially including things like the available pressure sensitivity levels and the feedback that it provides when you are using it. Plus, the Samsung S Pen on its own has a lot more features than the Apple Pencil. A few other things worth mentioning here. The Tab S6 Lite starts with 64 gigs of base storage, and it's actually upgradable at up to 1 terabyte using a micro SD card. Now, you do also have the face unlock on this tablet, and the tablet itself, when you purchase one, it comes bundled up with the Samsung S Pen, as opposed to the iPad where you have to buy the iPad and also buy the Apple Pencil separately. One last highlight to bring up here is the fact that the iPad 8 here is going to be supported by Apple for the next 5 years. Now, in summary, here's my take. Both tablets are very, very nice tablets. very great choices depending on what you need or what you are looking for in a tablet. You know, you can't really go wrong with either one, assuming that you figure out what you are looking for a tablet for. If you are in the market for a budget to mid-range tablet that will offer you kind of the best bang for your buck, in other words, if you are looking for more value, then the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite might be something for you to consider. You get the free Samsung S Pen, which is a lot more comfortable to use. It has some extra features. You get the upgradable internal storage, the great entertainment user experience, and also some pretty decent specs and performance that are really worth keeping in mind. On the other hand, if you are in the market for a budget tablet and you are considering these two, but you want something with better performance, you know, with a performance edge, and you know, something that will give you access to other professional apps, assuming for example you're going to be doing video editing and things like that, then you might want to consider the iPad 8. It will offer you a very high level of gaming. It's great for gaming, a good level of multitasking, and it has that 5 years of software support, as I mentioned there, by Apple. Either way, the first step is to figure out what you need a tablet for, right? In order for you to connect to the one that's going to go well with your type of usage. So once you figure out what you want a tablet for, then you'll be able to figure out which one is going to be good for you. Now, you can also watch my other tabs. I've made also other videos about other tablets. So make sure, if you're in the market for a tablet in general and you haven't made your decision yet, just make sure to watch those videos also on the other tablets. You may find some information there that can help your purchasing decision. Anyways, I hope this was informative, and of course I appreciate you sticking with me till the end of this video. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget of course to comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch you in the comment section like I always do, and I'm also going to catch you in the next video. And up until that next video, stay safe out there.